Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Report and Outlook. It is January 5th, 2025, and unfortunately, again, a lot of clouds over the area. This is what it looked like this morning. You can see the clouds already building. However, there were less clouds in New Jersey. If you were in New Jersey, you would have actually had a mostly sunny day, I guess. Maybe I should have been there, I guess, but you can see we're pretty much dealing with a lot of clouds and very, very windy conditions today too, as well. First of all, you see the path of the storm. This is the storm that's going to be brushing New Jersey tomorrow. They still have it as a winter storm. What do they have here? Winter weather advisory. So it looks like they've just got winter weather advisories now. So it's just going to be an advisory level event from Ocean County on southward. But you can see the stretch of where the storm is, particularly in the Midwest. You can see clearly on this. Let's take a look at our current conditions outside right now. And it is chilly. The winds have backed off, which is nice. 27 degrees at Islip. The west wind is only 7 miles an hour, but it was very, very windy throughout the day today. Once again, during the day here, we had plenty of clouds around at Islip, overcast much of the day, and gusts over 30 miles an hour at times. So very windy. Definitely made it feel on the chilly side. Even if it wasn't that cold, it was in the mid-30s. So let's look at our highs and lows for the day. And our highs, probably mid-30s for the most part. Yep, 34 at mid-30s pretty much. So a little bit below normal, slightly below normal, and a little bit chillier in Jersey, believe it or not. Only 32 there, which is interesting. Lows, there was no radiational cooling, so lows were generally in the low to mid-20s, it looks like. Yep, that's pretty much what it is. Looking at our climate statistics for the day, at Islip, had a high of 34 and a low of 27. The high of 34 is 6 degrees below normal. However, the low of 27 was 1 degree above normal. And that puts us just 2 degrees below normal for the day. So not tremendously below normal at all whatsoever. And a lot of clouds. But again, as usual, as we got toward the night, the skies cleared. And that is a loblolly pine in Massapequa Park, actually. Believe it or not, it's not a pitch pine. It looks like a loblolly. But you can see by the motion of the trees, the wind was still going the night. But not as much as it was. And then we had a nice, this is the lake here. You can see here a few of those wispy high clouds and maybe some scattered jet chunk in there. But look at that nice starlit sky tonight. So let's go and look at the satellite image. Here's is our satellite image. You can see the higher clouds rolling in from that storm. Go to the CONUS view. Take a look at the storm. Here it is. Classic extratropical storm look right there. Looking at our weather map, you'll see here that there's where most of the precipitation is going to be, mid-Atlantic, and there's going to be, unfortunately, some ice and freezing rain with this storm system, which could cause a lot of power outages, and I'm wondering if it's already causing a lot of power outages. Let's see. Yes, it has, particularly Kentucky. Yeah, we have some power outages due to the icing from that. No surprise. Luckily, we're not going to be dealing with that. That's going to be more of an issue for the mid-Atlantic interior. But this is what our storm looks like. Let's go and look at the surface analysis. Again, there's your storm right there. And it's going to track to the south because we have this low here that's still stuck off the Maritimes over here. And that is going to keep that northwest flow and kind of pushes the storm down a little bit out of the way. And you can see it here rotating around here on the satellite view as well. So that's going to keep things pushed to the south, and that's going to be the theme here. Here's our storm. See a tongue of heavy rain, and looks like even some thunderstorms here through Mississippi, Nashville, and then as you get Louisville, Kentucky, they're getting a lot of freezing rain and sleet. This is really bad. And north of that, really heavy snow, all right, into parts of West Virginia. And this is the storm system that's going to be moving and brushing us by to the south tomorrow. So let's go look at the models now, and we'll first talk about the storm, and then I'll talk about the longer range. So this is what the storm is going to look like tomorrow. And you can see here, you can see what happens. That dry air just builds in and just pushes it to the south. And we're probably not going to see much of anything here on Long Island. That's why the only accumulating snows are probably going to be from Ocean County on southward, probably. And that's why we have the winter weather advisories in effect for that area. And then after the storm leaves, we'll have to deal with a lot of wind in a prolonged period. Look at how tight those isobars are on Tuesday. That could be a wind advisory kind of day, maybe even Wednesday too. But that is definitely this is what the storm track looks like right now. And we'll go into some more specifics as soon as I we'll actually go into the specifics now. We'll get this over with, and then we'll talk about the longer range outlook. Or maybe I'll just push it off until tomorrow. But there wasn't really too much to talk about with this storm. So let's go look at the HRRR run at 0Z. As for our area at least. So you can see that the heavier snow is pretty much well to the south of even the southern tip of Jersey. Originally looked like maybe parts of the southernmost parts of Jersey. You're talking Cape May might have more significant snow, but for the rest of it, from New York City on south and westward, you're going to get a coating to an inch, and then in Ocean County, maybe an inch or two, and then that's pretty much it. But then there's another little batch that comes through, but that's mainly light. So if we look at our total accumulated snowfalls, and we'll go through several of these models here, total snowfalls here, you can see where the really heavy stuff is. In Ocean County, really, it's got a 3 right over Toms River, so just a couple of inches, maybe 2 to 3 inches. And for us, just a coating to an inch, maybe. May not even see that because this is the HRRR. Let's look at some of the other models here. Let's go to the NAM. This is the 0Z NAM. Also similar to the HRRR, and you can see where the heavier snows are. And again, south, mainly the southern part of the state, extreme Cape May County, that area there. That's where you're going to see the heavier snow. So you can see it's not really going to be a big deal for us. I think, like I said, a coating maybe on Long Island, and then more like maybe an inch or two in Toms River. The heavier stuff's going to be off to the south. And then there's that wind for Tuesday behind it. So that's what I'm thinking right now. And I'm not even going to draw a map. I mean, I can if I want. I guess we can go here and we'll draw it for you. I'll just take all these layers off here and draw it for you here. But generally speaking, let's get our paint tool up here. And we'll just, this is going to be like basically from this area to this area here, coating. All right. At most. I don't think it'll be. And then coating to 1 inch in these central Jersey, just the immediate southwest of New York City, parts of Staten Island maybe. And then if you're in Ocean County, you'll see 1 to 3, I think. And then south of that is where you're going to get into your 5 to plus and 5 inch plus amounts. So that's what I'm thinking right now. And it's not really going to be a big deal, and mainly it's going to be to the south of us. So, but this is just one of many chances we'll have for some snow, I think, with the cold air locked in place. So let's go back to the long range now, and we'll go to the upper air. We'll do that first here, and we'll look at our jet stream first of all here on the GFS, and you'll see here that there's that trough that brings the storm in, and then we're going to have more cold air behind that storm. And you can still see what's going on here, that we remain in a cold pattern with the troughing in the east. That's going to remain that way. And we'll go to the upper air, 500. So you see that trough there in the east. You have the Greenland blocking, so that's going to keep. As long as that blocking stays, it looks like it relents for a little bit, but then we get into more cold air. So it's just going to continue at this point. This is the 18Z run. We can also look at the 12Z run of the GFS. Notice if there's any differences. They seem to be pretty similar. But you can see the blocking that's going on. Let's go look at the European. We'll look at the 12Z. And again, you got that block over Greenland. It keeps the cold air in place. And it looks like we're going to continue to see that. Look at that. It actually gets more intense as we get toward later in the month. Look at that. Wow, that's one hell of a Greenland block right there. That's really something. We'll go to the temperature anomaly charts. Take this back down to the CONUS. And if the Euro's right, we're going to get some. So you can see we're staying below normal this week. Obviously, some really colder air comes into the picture. It looks like Thursday. Maybe we see a little bit of a moderation toward the weekend. Then we can persistently stay below normal. Now, if you look at the GFS, pretty similar. But there's some really powerful blocking there, and it just keeps the cold air in place. But it's kind of upside down because you'll notice, especially toward the and again, this is the 18s. You only just look at the difference between the 18s. This is why I don't like using the 18Z run. All right, because it's squirrely. All right, that's a way to put it. Look at what it does here toward the. It has another even bigger plunge. So with this pattern in place, the chances are for more Arctic outbreaks. And honestly, the air we're seeing right now isn't all that cold. It's a couple degrees below normal. It's not tremendously below normal. Again, the majority of the really cold air has gone into the Midwest. We are just getting another glancing blow of it. But there may be more chances for it to be more directly aimed at us. So that's the general theme of things here. Let's go look at the surface and show you what we have. So once that storm passes, we're in the wind machine. You can see that. And we're going to be dealing with these winds for a while. On Thursday, it's just we're not really getting a really strong high pressure system, which, again, the two issues is when you have that kind of setup, we have a tendency to just have a lot of clouds around. And I was hoping we could get some sunny days out of this. Then the next system for Saturday has it just brushing by very weak. This is the 12Z, but the 18Z has a much more potential storm here and a blizzard. So this is the 18Z run. That is really impressive. That's just one run. So that's just one run on the GFS. You see it had it on the 6Z. It's gone on the 12Z. It's back on the 18Z. But this is still a ways away. Let's see if this is even on the European. And we'll get the 12Z European on here as well. So it's kind of weak. And the GFS, and I don't know if the Canadian is. Let's see if the Icon has this as well. Yeah, they all have it pretty suppressed. So I'm not going to get too excited over it yet. We'll have to see. It's just one. And it's the 18Z run of the GFS, which we know can be squirrely, like I said. So now that we got that out of the way and get an idea that we're going to be in a wintry pattern, though I don't see any record cold just yet. Let's go to the short range, back to the HRRR, and we'll go over our dew points and wind flow and what's going to be happening as we head into the rest of this week. So winds are a little bit lighter tonight, which is nice. Northwest winds. And then you can see there's the storm passing by the south, north winds. And then behind that storm, here comes the really colder air for Tuesday. Northwest flow, dew points drop into the single digits. That's when we're going to get into our colder weather. And we'll see, you can see it here as well. Tomorrow, we'll probably make it to the low 30s. Again, plenty of cloud cover, no sun tomorrow, so I'm going to struggle to make it above freezing. But by Tuesday morning, these are the actual air temperatures. We're talking teens on Tuesday morning, and we're only going to get into the 20s on Tuesday. So it's going to start to be that really cold air that we're talking about here. Now, as far as cloud cover goes, let's see if I can somehow grab a sounding. It's a little far out. Those lines are kind of close to each other. This is 16Z. Yeah, they're kind of close to each other. So still dealing with that issue. Unfortunately, that's a problem. Let's go to the 12Z GFS, all right, because the 18Z is being a little squirrely in my opinion. So let's go to the, it's a word, squirrely means it's a word that some people use. That means it's just being a little out of whack. But let's look at our dew points and wind flow on this. So you can see that really cold air mass that comes down on Tuesday. There it is. Look at that. That'll be the really cold air. And then Wednesday, it continues to get colder. Dew points drop into like 3 degrees. So this is real. This is when we get into the Arctic air. We haven't gotten to the Arctic air yet, but we're going to get into it this week. And it's going to be with us for most of the week. You can see here we are Thursday, Friday. So it's going to be with us for a while. All right. And then that second shot, like I said, you can see. Look at that second shot. That second shot is really impressive. Temperatures. Again, here's the GFS, and you'll see the temperatures drop. This might be overestimating the temperatures a little bit here. I'm going to have to look at the European. But has us, again, staying below freezing. We're going to be below freezing all week long, so a lot of things are going to freeze up. And then it just only gets into the mid-30s before, again, we can get another shot of really cold air coming in. Again, that second shot there that comes in, we're talking maybe highs only in the teens if we can get that second shot in, which would really be nice. That would be later toward the later part of the month. Now, the European, let's go look at the European air temperatures here. Similar deal on the European, you can see. So get ready for some chill, and it's going to be windy too. That's the other issue with those tight isobars. that we're going to have to look at as well that you saw there. So let's go and we'll look at our skies. I'll go back to the GFS here. Obviously, it's not the best model to use for skies, but just to give you a general idea, and again, I'm going to use the 12Z run. You see clouds tomorrow, and then Tuesday actually looks like it's mostly sunny over Jersey. But if we look at the sounding, yeah, those lines are kind of close together, so we may have more clouds than this is indicating. We'll have to see. And then Wednesday, again, showing you have to watch for that, and that's really uncertain right now. Those dew points are fairly low, and I'm thinking be enough of a spread, hopefully, that we get mostly sunny skies here. Wednesday looks a little bit better in that regard. There's the sounding for 18Z on Wednesday on this, but again, this is a low resolution. But hopefully we'll get some more sunshine this week, because I'm really getting tired of all these clouds. It's ridiculous. So I'm only going to go out that far to Friday. Let's go look at the RGM. We have the 0Z RGM. We actually have the full 0Z RGM in. So obviously plenty of clouds tomorrow. And then they clear out Tuesday, and then to RGM, of course, has it mostly sunny. It had today mostly sunny, and it certainly wasn't. Wednesday also showing mostly sunny, but that may not be the case. And then as we get to Thursday, we see some more clouds kind of wrapping around there. But again, this is the RGM here. We'll go and look at the European, which we can't have a cloud grid, but we can also look at these isobars. So see, and of course all that. Just change it to this here. You'll see those isobars being very tight. Very tight. So if we take a sounding of 15Z Tuesday over Long Island, those are touching. So this is indicating plenty of clouds. With that wind, I would expect that to be the case. Yeah, those lines are kind of close to each other, as you see. And they're touching on Long Island. So you can't even rule out the possibility of maybe a flurry or two, maybe just some instability, ocean effect perhaps even. So here's Wednesday. Let's see if Wednesday looks any better on this. Yeah, Wednesday's the day that we might actually wind up seeing some more sunshine, I'm hoping. Though it's not showing it over New Jersey. Again, this is the European. But you note, again, how tight those isobars are. So if we look at the winds, you'll see the winds that we're going to be dealing with. And we're going to be dealing with some strong winds. So that'll be the next thing we're going to talk about. Let's go over to Event 2 Sky, talk about the winds. Obviously not too bad tonight. Winds tomorrow will start picking up. You see that a little bit. Well, it's not too bad yet. You don't see those arrows moving too quickly. But as we get to Tuesday, that's when you see those arrows moving quickly. And that's when we're going to be seeing a lot of wind. So, and this, by the way, I can look at clouds, too. Look at all those clouds. So this is the HRRR output. So, you can see wind gusts 33 miles an hour, 31 miles an hour. So it's going to be up there. Is it going to be wind advisory criteria? It's close. And those wind chills are going to make it feel very... Look at that. It gets worse Tuesday night. So, yeah, I don't know. We might need that wind advisory Tuesday until Wednesday. It doesn't really get much better. We're still dealing with a lot of wind. Still. So we're going to be stuck in this wind machine for a while. Here we are for Thursday, still dealing with it. Friday, finally it starts to relent a little bit. But, I mean, this wind is going to be with us for a while. So if you don't like windy conditions, I mean, I'm not a fan. I kind of like it, but when I'm hiking in it, I don't like it because it just makes it harder to walk. But if I want to get to the Pine Barrens, it's going to have to deal with these winds, and that's the problem. So let's lastly go to the Climate Prediction Center here and look at our 6 to 10 day outlook. And below normal, in the whole, especially in the southeast, precipitation actually have a little bit above normal. And 8 to 14 day, also below normal. So you can see we're going to be staying below normal, and it looks like it does have us drier toward the end of the period. So we're going to be staying below normal for a while, I think. Let's just go to the Weather Prediction Center, and let's see, look at the winter weather. And this kind of shows our snow chances. On day 1, you can see this is day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7. They only have us in a small probability for that next storm. So that is all I got for you tonight. Stay warm. We're going to be dealing with that winter wind for a while, but at least it's cold. I just would like some sunshine. That would be nice. Cold and sunshine would be nice, and maybe a little less wind, but again, without a strong high pressure around and a cyclonic flow with those squashed isobars. Actually, yeah, let me look at one more model before I go, the windy.com, because that was the That European might be a little more on target with these winds. All right, that's not wind gusts, by the way. That's sustained wind over 20 miles an hour. Let's go to the wind gusts. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tuesday, I think we're going to need a wind advisory, honestly. I think we're going to need a wind advisory. Yeah, it's going to be really windy. And you could see still dealing with it on Wednesday, too, by the way. Still. So, yeah, we're still dealing with these winds. So I'm thinking wind advisory. Yeah, it's gonna look at this. Still gusting on Thursday. So at least 3 days in a row of really gusty winds. Look at that. It's got a gust of 47 in Toms River on Thursday. That's pretty crazy. I'm looking at cloud covers. The cloud cover, you can see it's got plenty of that. So this is frustrating. If we were over here where the high pressure is, they have no clouds and less wind. But we're on the edge of that high in the squeeze play between the high and the low. And we're stuck in the clouds, dealing with the clouds as well as the wind. So that's kind of the cloud part is the annoying part. You can see this is Tuesday. It looks like it's got plenty of clouds. So, I mean, I just want a mostly sunny day. It's been over 2 weeks already since we've had a mostly sunny day. It's pathetic. But anyway, at least it's cold. But, again, it's because of the way the cold air is going. It's not out of Hudson Bay. It's going to the Midwest. And when we get that kind of deal, we get usually stuck with a lot of clouds, especially from the lakes. And the lakes used to freeze over years ago. It would be nice if they would, because that would actually give a reprieve to the lake effects now, which they're going to continue to deal with up there. So, anyway, have a good night. Thank you for watching. And be careful out there, because one more day, and then we're going to be dealing with the 3 days at least in a row of some windy conditions. Have a good night.